So I decided to do this thing with my kids about gambling because we saw a show called Psych on TV, and they were gambling and my kids were asking some interesting questions about it. So I decided to do, I guess, a little experiment with them. I wanted them to go through the emotions and all the things that happen with gambling in a contained environment, to teach them lessons about it so that when they get out of the house, they'll know to look for certain things, and they'll be aware of it. I gave them a bowl of M&Ms, and I would wager a certain amount of M&Ms, and then they would have to match mine. If they won, they got it. If they lost, it all went in my bowl. So they were going against the dealer, not against each other. This wasn't set up for them to win. I was always going to win. It's my belief that gambling, when it's available, it creates cheaters on both ends, because both the people who own gambling places or that put together things where people would gamble, they really don't want to lose. And the people who are gambling, they don't want to lose. You'll find cheaters on both sides. Throughout, you'll see me put the winning cards underneath the deck and deal myself those cards whenever I wanted to win. The target for this, as far as it goes to gambling, wasn't my daughter. My target was my son. If you set up competition where males think that they can win and they're competing, then that same kid that gets A's can still be driven to that type of competition as well.
What happens if you wager a lot and we don't have all that much?
Wager all what you got?
Is it? Daddy, you're being cruel to us.
I'm over.
Yes! No, I win.
Both of you win.
I'm gorgeous.
You can start to see the emotional changes that I was looking for, because all I want to do is put my kids in a situation and then train them from it, from their own reactions. There's a time where my daughter started seeing her pile get lower, and then she started praying to God about, please let me win. And this is gambling, and they knew that they were gambling going in.
Oh, Allah, please, please, I need this. My bull needs this. Please, please.
Also, my son, just the facial reactions from losing and the drive to want to win, you'll see that in the same type of fair competition like any sports match.
I'm not done. Hit me.
It's interesting to see the things that come out of this, because we're Muslim, and there's a point in here where, right there, where my daughter starts praying, but she's praying like Christians pray.
I'm done.
Please win. Please win. We have to win!
She's never prayed like that in her life, so the only way that she would have known to pray like that is probably through television, because she goes to a Muslim school. For me as a parent, I wouldn't overreact to something like that. I would just show her this and then ask her, why does she think that she prayed like that? And start a dialogue like that. 19.
I quit. Bye.
I'm the
I'll always take it.
The final round, when they've lost all of their M&Ms and I have everything. So then at this point, I offered them a way to get it all back. I'll give you back all of your 70.
Uh-huh.
And you have to wager both your popsicles for dessert tonight.
No. No. I'm having dessert. Tonight.
If you lose,
I want all my 70 right now. If you lose, what?
If you lose, your popsicle is mine. It's only 2 left.
What? We can share it. We have no problem with that. Yeah, we share one before.
And what's at stake is 70 M&Ms.
And if you win,
I get your popsicles.
and we get our 70.
If you win, you get your 70 back.
And the popsicles?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah! We gotta win. No! That's no! Yeah! What do you think? What's the other option?
No other option. You lose. I keep all of this, and
You
eat
get
dinner, and you get popsicles. I wasn't surprised by my daughter's reaction to losing something that she normally would get, because I just know from experience that it's things in life that that women catch on to and they know immediately. And a lot of times men, we need to make certain mistakes, but a lot of times a woman sees the answer a lot faster than men do. In certain areas, it's not always, but in this case, she knew exactly what to do the very first time I said it. He talked her into
double or nothing. Do it or not.
Doing something that she knew wasn't to her benefit. And she allowed him to lead.
Double or nothing.
Or dessert. If you lose your dessert. If you win,
if we win, we
dessert
get all
and you get
70
back.
and we get the popsicles.
That's a lot at stake here.
So,
those are the things that I was looking for in this whole experiment. Is things that I could see, I could catch on to, and then teach from it. From them just being who they are. Alright.
now we start going on.
Double or nothing. Double or nothing.
Hey, you purposely gave yourself.
Gonna win anyway, this one. I'm done.
You're up.
Babe.
I'm done.
Flip over.
You got a 7-11.
17.
You got a 17?
16.
Yeah.
21. Your popsicles are mine.
Hey! I thought we were supposed to go through the whole game.
We did. That's it.
That was it? No, remember when we kept doing the singing thing? I didn't know that!
Yeah. Your popsicle is mine. I'm willing to give you guys all back your popsicles. And back your popsicles and 70 M&Ms.
Mhm.
But if you lose, you have to do the dishes.
And still do that? Get that?
No, you don't get this at all if you lose.
Neither the popsicle.
Neither the popsicles.
Can you
if
just
lose.
keep wagering until we win?
I think as a parent, you have to make your children think. A lot of times outside the box, but you as a parent, you should have experienced enough things to at least give back to your kids or put them in scenarios and see what they would do in that scenario and then teach from it.
Wait, if you don't do this, what do you have?
Nothing.
I have your popsicles and I have all the M&Ms.
Okay, then I'm in.
I'm in. Yeah, I already knew I was in. I'm gonna get a hit me, I know that.
I didn't plan for this, but on the last round, my son lost and my daughter tied with me. So it gave me the opportunity to see what would happen if she won all of her stuff back, but my son lose. 20. You're out. You're definitely doing the dishes. It's just a matter of if you're going to do the dishes by yourself. My daughter, she was my target for other behaviors that I wanted to see come out of her.
Wayne, I forgot my popsicle. Can I share with them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me 15. Okay.
My daughter, being who she is, could see the writing on the wall before it happened. I gave myself too many cards on purpose to bust, and she wins. 17, I'm busted. You win.
Yes!
You get back your popsicle. Now you're doing the dishes. This is fun to me. It looks cruel at times, but I enjoy putting my kids in these situations and having them think on how to resolve it. These emotions and these reactions that are totally not normal as to what my kids would do on a day-to-day basis started to transpire. He locks himself in the bathroom for about 30 minutes. And my daughter started doing things that, as a father, I was just so proud of her and seeing the development of her as a woman. This part right here is just amazing to me. If you watch and see what she does with her popsicle, she already asked me before because she shared with him. That was top priority on her mind. But when you see her cut this popsicle, and then from cutting the popsicle, watch what she does with it. Now you can see that the popsicle was freezing. It was already hard for her to cut it. Now, I can't coach that. I didn't tell her to do any of that. That's just her being her. I want anybody to see this, to take a popsicle, cut it, stick it in your mouth, the top half of it, and then eat it. And see how comfortable that is. But she did that without even thinking twice about it. As a father, I couldn't be more proud of her. That is the type of woman that I really want to put out to the world.
No! Yeah! Amazing! What's the other option?
For my son, this is part of his development too as a leader. For him, I go back and tell him about, look at what his sister told him and look at what he did. Look at the direction that he led her and watch how she allowed it. But that's necessary for males.
Double or nothing. Do it, Asna.
If you're going to be a strong leader, you need to make some bad decisions. That's how you learn. You learn from your mistakes. And if you have a coach there that's coaching you while you're making those mistakes, it's even better. A lot of people grow up without fathers and they don't have that type of coach. I didn't come from a family where it was okay to gamble or it was okay to do things, but I experienced those things growing up in the environments that I grew up in outside of the home. And I know that my son will probably be prone to doing certain things because of the competitiveness inside of him. Now, in the end, I told them what happened and what I did. And this is my son's reaction.
I told you were cheating.
Yes. Cheating is a part of gambling. In this whole experiment, my son made mistakes that later on in life will help him to be a better leader. And my daughter, she led through nurturing. As a parent, it's easy for me as a father to teach these things to my son. For my daughter, I can already see that for her future, I'm going to have to plan and strategize so that the society that we live in doesn't rob and rape her of who she is.